Update. Am I the a-hole? My fiancé is demanding I stop making home-cooked meals for my friend. Original post. I, 27 male, am very passionate about cooking. I'm not a professional chef by any means, but it's one of my favorite hobbies. I love the act of creating food, but sharing it is what's really special to me, whether it's something I've made or a nice meal at a restaurant. My girlfriend, 27 female, is pretty picky. She won't even touch the majority of the things I cook or split most meals at restaurants. And that's fine. It's the way she's been reacting to other people enjoying my food that bothers me. A good friend of mine, Jace, 34 male, is a truck driver. I don't get to see him as often as I'd like, but when he comes home, I always make it a point to feed him well. It's fun for me to plan. It's also really fulfilling in a way. It makes me feel this sense of warmth, making something for him. I know that being on the road so much can be tough, so when he's here, I want him to feel grounded and at peace. Basically, I'm giving this man all the comfort food. Jace is always so appreciative and makes jokes about coming home to his wife. He should be back home in just a few days, and I mentioned to my fiancé that I had a whole menu planned. She got upset and basically told me she didn't like how I went above and beyond for him. I've held my ground and said it's important to me, but her comments have started feeling a little less aimed at her own discomfort, and more so just derogatory toward me. Am I the a-hole for wanting to keep cooking for him? Now for the top comments before reading the update. It's probably not so much the food. It sounds like your girlfriend feels threatened by your relationship with the truck driver. To be honest, I kind of want to meet this truck driver after that write-up. He is very offline, or I'd get him to virtually introduce himself. He listens to a lot of YouTube while he's driving, but that's the extent of his social media use. It's enviable and makes me cut down on my doom scrolling. Trying to explain memes to him is humbling, lol. OP forgot to mention the truck driver eats these meals at OP's home in his painting room, possibly followed by Babylonian yogurt. Is there something non-food related you put this much energy into doing for your girlfriend? Planning dates, romantic evenings, things you know she likes? I know you enjoy making food for others, but have you taken the time to learn how your girlfriend feels most loved and appreciated? And then do or facilitated that for her? Do you have the same level of energy for helping your girlfriend feel grounded and at peace when she's had a rough day at work or in general? I appreciate this perspective. I hadn't thought about it this way. Because he's away from home and because he's so appreciative of what I do for him, I do put a lot of effort into it. I never looked at it as her needing the same from me after a long day of work, because it isn't equivalent to being away from home and creature comforts for weeks. Hot take: your love language is acts of service, specifically with food. Your girlfriend isn't into food. You have been feeding your own needs with serving your understandably grateful and very lucky trucker friend. What is your girlfriend's love language? What type of banquet could you offer her? Time doing puzzles together? Hikes? Art gallery? Paintball? Having a book and popcorn before bed? Find that. Match your meal prep energy there. Helping your friend isn't bad. Deciding to not put the same enthusiastic energy into what makes your girlfriend feel as taken care of as your friend, because it's not how you do it, is what's bad. You're not going to build him an art room, are you? Maybe it's the Iranian yogurt he uses in all his recipes. Now for the update. My girlfriend and I are currently on a break. I don't think I consciously realized it, but some part of me must have known how close we were to a breaking point. Otherwise, I don't think I would have written or posted my original question. I was making chicken breast for Jace on Friday. Whenever he gets back from a job, he'll go home and crash for a few hours. I like to time things so his meal is hot and ready when he wakes up. I had left the kitchen while it was cooking, and the oven was off when I came back. I asked my fiancée if she had done it, and she said yes. This resulted in easily the worst fight we've had. I ended up asking for the engagement ring back. This goes beyond me feeling unappreciated. This is her actively undermining something I'm passionate about. It feels like contempt. This is supposed to be a temporary break, but I really don't feel any sadness over not having seen or talked to her the past few days. I don't know where to go from here. A very big part of me just wants to be done. Is this an art room thing? I knew from the OG this would go the way of the art room, though this is more rugged. His friend is a truck driver. The dude jokingly refers to OP as his wife too. I had to take some time to read through this original post since it keeps getting referenced. I'm curious how you think this went the way of the art room. My girlfriend and I are taking a break because she hurt me. I have a good friend. There aren't even any similarities between my situation and what everyone keeps linking. I didn't leave her for another person. I was not cruel to her. I feel like my situation is being misrepresented for a cheap joke. I'm being mass downvoted for saying I don't appreciate jokes, insinuating I would cheat in my relationships. I have no interest engaging here further. It's not a cheap joke. The comparison is this. You have a close friend who is very important to you. You had a romantic partner who was less important to you. You engaged in behavior with the close friend your romantic partner found upsetting due to the greater intimacy and care you showed your friend than you showed your fiancé. You also speak about your friend with deep affection on par with how most people would discuss a romantic partner, and you referred to your ex using dismissive language that implied she was an inconvenience to you. By most people's standards, this would at very minimum emotional infidelity. Dropped from being referred to as fiancé to just girlfriend in 7 days. Not a good sign. It's the art room all over again. Can't a man simply make a succulent chicken dinner for his trucker friend? Can't a man simply want it to be hot and ready when his trucker friend wakes up? Look, just because the trucker friend wears Old Spice, has rock-hard abs, moans when he bends over to pick up stuff, and has deep, passionate eyes, does not mean that there is anything going on here. It's just bros taking care of bros, okay? Next story. Am I the a-hole for only giving my mom one more chance to show me she wants to be there for me and saying no emergency getting in the way will make me give her another chance? My parents got divorced 16 years ago. I, 17 female, was one. It was a messy breakup, and they still don't like being around each other. That's something I didn't figure out until I was older. My dad's still single, and it's just me and him. For the last 18 months, I've lived with him full-time. My mom's remarried. She married a guy with 4 kids who lost his wife. My mom decided she'd step up and mother them. But from what I see, his oldest, who's 6 months younger than me, gets the most attention and is prioritized more. It started out in small ways. Mom told me she'd have less time for me now, which I expected, and said things needed to be planned moving forward, because her attention had to be split 5 ways instead of me getting all of it. That wasn't easy, and Mom didn't really try to check on me. She expected me to be okay with it, but after a few months of spending less time with her, I noticed it wasn't just less. She was canceling plans with me because she was doing them with the oldest stepkid. She had us both in different activities and prioritized taking her stepdaughter to activities instead of me. She started staying to cheer her on, or just to wait when no other parents stayed. I started going with friends, or my dad would come and take me. Then, when 2 things between us clashed, like I was in dance and had recitals and her stepdaughter played sports and had a game, Mom would always pick the game or whatever her stepdaughter had. I brought it up to Mom. She denied it for months, but then she was like, "I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. Please don't hate me and let's make this work." But then something would come up. One time, one stepkid broke a leg and was in the ER, and Mom needed to pick up another stepkid from somewhere. Another time, the rest of the kids were sick, and one needed to be picked up from something, and her husband was staying with the kids. Then it was that her husband's friend or something died, and she needed to stay with the kids. I can't tell you how many times someone was sick or someone died, and she couldn't work on our relationship. So I asked Mom why she didn't get someone else to take her stepdaughter and come support me, to show up for me. She asked if that would make it better, and I said it was a start. She said she would, and right up until I was supposed to leave, she never told me she was going with her stepdaughter. But she said next time it would be me. I missed my classes because I'd have been too late, with nobody close by enough to get me and take me. The next time for me never came. She did take me for milkshakes once or twice, but had to leave early for something stepkid related. When me and her stepdaughter each had something come up out of state, Mom prioritized her stepdaughter's event. My dad had to fight super hard to get Mom to agree to let him take me. She said I should be with the rest of them for her stepdaughter's thing, and that I could miss one event. It was very last minute, and my dance teacher had to make an exception for me not being on the list to go by the deadline. When Mom realized how mad I was at her for it, she broke down and apologized. She told me I had two parents and her stepkids had lost their mom. I told her she still fought against Dad taking me, and she told me she wasn't thinking clearly. When I chose to live full-time with Dad, my mom acted like it was a huge surprise. She has attempted several times to make it up to me, but failed every time, mostly because her stepdaughter needed her, or some other emergency, illness, or death, or whatever came up. I know emergencies are when you need to be accommodating, but why do they always happen to me? Maybe they're not actual emergencies and just BS excuses. So a few months ago, I told Mom I was done. She begged me repeatedly to change my mind, even love-bombed me with so many gifts, and I love yous, and all the things I'd have loved to hear over the years she was putting me last. In the end, I decided to give her one more chance. I told her I have a dance contest coming up and I want her to be there, and if she doesn't come for any reason, then it's over. It's local, so in theory it should be easy. She said she'd be there, but now her mother-in-law is on hospice, and she told me she needed to let me know because she could go at any time. I told her my one last chance still stands, because closer to the time, she could just say her stepkids needed her or her husband did, and the woman could still be alive. She's saying I'm being unfair. Dad said I didn't even need to give her one last chance. My mom's parents say I'm allowed to set boundaries if I want, and they won't be mad if I don't make exceptions for emergencies. But Mom keeps saying I need to understand her mother-in-law is a big deal, and I just can't find it in me to care. Does that make me the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. She wouldn't be on her last chance if she hadn't so relentlessly chose other people over you. Everything seems to be more important to her than you are. You're right to keep your boundaries, and it's really pathetic that she can't manage to prioritize her only child. She's trying way too hard to impress her shiny new family. That's how it feels. Since I moved out, all plans were made by her and she still canceled them. But suddenly it's my fault for putting in a boundary of last chance, and there's zero wiggle room. I already know she won't be there. Something will come up. Not the a-hole. Be done with it. Sounds like she isn't worth the trouble at all. She sounds like more of a hassle than a benefit to your life. I would tell her, no, you've had your chances and you don't get another. You don't need her. She has proven that you aren't a priority, that your feelings don't matter to her. So why should hers matter to you? Failed you too much. I basically already am. I know she'll fail this time, and then if anyone ever gives me grief, I can say I gave her a good chance. An easy one too, and she couldn't even take it, so why should I keep trying? But do not push her too much to come. It should be a 100% voluntarily appearance of your mother, under her own free will, without reminders, or it does not count in my opinion. I won't remind her. This is all on her now. I just stated the boundary clearly so she knows how it'll be. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad's wife she's not my bonus mom after I only brought mom wedding dress shopping with me? I'm 26 female and only child. My parents divorced during my senior year of high school. By the time I graduated, my dad had started dating his second wife. I'd met her once before. He told me he was bringing her, and I was like, okay, fine. She showed up way overdressed and attempted to overtake the whole event. She tried to interfere in the photos I had taken, tried to push my mom away from me in group photos, and it took me telling my dad that if he didn't stop her, they could just go home and not come to the party. A few times, she even tried to unlink mine and my mom's arms and take my mom's place next to me. She apologized to me a few days later, but Mom later admitted that Dad's wife had called and boasted about how much nicer her and Dad's photos with me would look, because I had two parents in them instead of one. She also tried to boast that I took more photos with her than with Mom. But that wasn't true, and I didn't actually print any of the photos with her in them because she ticked me off so badly. After the whole situation, every time I saw my dad's wife, who became his wife a year after my graduation, she was overly nice to me and would get super eager to spend time with me whenever I mentioned I was going back to mom's. I stayed with mom when I was home for the holidays. She was always looking to spend time with me instead. I know from one of dad's friends that his wife always tries to get everyone to insult my mom. It's just so petty. She started calling herself my bonus mom and me her bonus daughter. I corrected her once or twice, but then I just started spending less time with her. As a result, my relationship with my dad has suffered. Recently, I went wedding dress shopping with my mom, and when dad's wife found out, she got super upset that I went with mom and not her. She asked me why I didn't want her to go and said, "That's what bonus moms are for." I told her she's not my bonus mom and never was. She's my dad's second wife and is no kind of mother figure to me, and she never will be with the way she treats my actual mother. My dad told me I took it too far and should apologize because even if she's been bitchy to my mom, she's been super welcoming to me. I told him that doesn't matter because she needs to know her place, and it's not as someone I care for. The more she tries to force her way in and push my mom out or outshine my mom, the worse she looks to me. He insisted that I still could have been a lot nicer. Am I the a-hole? So you were almost a grown-up when she came into the picture, and she just thinks she can magically swoop in and take on a motherly role in your life? Your dad's wife has a serious case of delulu, and I don't blame you for pulling back. She sounds like she tries to replace your mom in every way she can. Makes you wonder why she acts like your mom is such a threat to her. It's too bad that your relationship with your dad suffers from this, but honestly, that's on him and not you. If he is fine with his wife being overly pushy and kinda creepy, those are the consequences he'll have to live with. I was already 18 when I met her and never lived with her, so technically a grown-up I was. As for why she's like this, I don't really know, other than she seems jealous that she's the second wife. She tries to cling to this younger wife thing, but she's 3 years younger than dad and only a year younger than my mom. Hilarious. I mean, also sad AF. She's not really a younger wife, she's just the second wife. A year is nothing. She could have been the same high school class as your mom, depending on when birthdays fell. I know, and that's something others have pointed out to her, including some of my dad's friends. Not the a-hole. Even if she was a saint to you and your mom, you still don't need to feel comfortable with her being your bonus mom. She didn't raise you and has seemingly done nothing motherly with you. But are you going to invite her to the wedding? Because she's going to pull the same things she did at the graduation. This is going to be a thing at every event. I know it will, and honestly, I have some soul searching to do after all of this. Dad won't come without her, but she's so annoying and inserts herself way too much for my liking. If your dad would miss your wedding because his wife can't behave, then let him. His loss. If he can't see how inappropriate she is, then maybe he doesn't need to come.